Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Honkai Impact 3rd. So, I think first and foremost we're going to do some polls. We've got Luna in the main banner here, and I mean, I don't see why not. I'm probably not gonna get her, because obviously I'm very far away from Pity. But it doesn't hurt to do some polls. I'm building Pity. It's fine. Jeez. One more. Yeah, alright. I also have a couple of dorm tickets. So we're gonna use those too, and then we're gonna get back into things. Alright. Oh my god, leave me alone. Okay. So, yeah, let's get back into it. Back into Elysian realm. Oh, that's right, we have Remembrance Vessel stuff. Okay, so I guess that's what we're starting with. Pristine memory.
つまり私は全ての記憶体に合っているのに、それでもまだあなたの刻印の意味を教える気はないってことかしら。もうそんなに時間が経ったのね。まあいいわ。
Oops. Wanted to turn the volume up in my headphones. Her gaze slowly drifted up to those crimson horns again.
やめて。前に触っただけじゃ物足りなかったの？だって本当に不思議な手触りだったから。
Oh my
もっとよ
god.
く調べてみたいのよ。
She's addicted.
こうしましょう。この間、角を触らせてくれる代わりに耳を触らせてあげるって言ったでしょ。私って公平性を大切にするの。だから、あなたも私のを触ってよ。そうしたら教えてあげるわ。ほらほら、期待を裏切らないわよね。
Elysia.
あなた、この前みたいに言いふらさないわよね。
Elysia is truly one of the characters of all time.
ほら、これでいいでしょ。どんな感じ？私って思っていたよりもっと恥ずかしがりや。本題に入りましょう。もう一言付け加えるべきだったわね。でもあなたは私よりもずっと恥ずかしがり屋よってね。いいわ。答えはやっぱり教えられない。
The time has not yet come.
そんな目で見ないで。だって前提が全然成り立たないんだもの。あなたはまだ全ての記憶体に合ってないでしょ。どういう意味？13英傑以外にも他の記憶体がいるの？あなたの想像とはちょっと違うわ。14人目がいるわけじゃないの。でもまだ全ての真相にたどり着いてないでしょ。乙女の秘密を解き明かすにはもっといろいろな手順を踏まないと。でも約束してあげる。今のお互いの理解度からすると、あなたが答えにたどり着くのはそう遠いことではないはずよ。私はずっと楽しみにしているのよ。あなたが私の心の一番奥に触れる日が来るのをね。
Elysia, you gotta stop saying weird stuff like this. Mahesvara? Mobius, I didn't expect you to invite me to visit your laboratory. I'm pleasantly surprised. Visit? I'd rather have you on the operating table instead of standing there. Tell me how you really feel. Alicia's gaze rose slightly, taking in the laboratory, and then finally fell back on the girl whose height didn't even come up to her shoulders. This brings back memories. I recall something similar happening a long time ago. Only this time, no matter how much you tiptoe, you won't get by me. How boring. Let's get down to business. I want to show you something. Mobius tapped a few keys and the electronic screen covering the laboratory's center slowly began to retract, revealing the operating table beneath. On top lay a corpse. Yeah, Mobius, your interests are really something. It kind of scares me. A poor fellow whose operation had failed. His fusion factor is the Mahesvara, just like you. The girl looked slightly apologetic. That's quite a pity. I thought you guys would have given up on the Mahesvara factor a long time ago. After all, there's only one case of someone achieving success so far. Yes, the Vipralopa class is not so easy to control. Look at him. His body looks like that now. Even if he is lucky enough to be brought back, would he even still be human? So, Alicia, I have a new question. Mobius stared at the girl in front of her, and the emerald green snake eyes revealed a dense, cold light. For you, it seems there aren't any side effects. Yeah. Damn it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to farm so much more of this stuff. But like, I can't. I am prevented from doing so currently. Oh no. You've finally come out of that place.
これはメイが望んだことでしょ。初めて会った時からあなたの望んでいることは全部叶っているはず。
While under your control?
相変わらず自我を保とうとする意志が強い。そうだね。交流を続けられるようにもう少し落ち着いてください。
You...
ほら、メイ。あの暗闇の中、もしくはペンダントがなければあなたにお願いできないわけではないよ。あそこであなたと会ったのはただ自分の家にいた方がより思いのままにできるから。
We aren't communicating. It's been one-sided so far.
互いに理解し合う意志がある状況なら人は交流を行える。しかしそれは長い過程が必要になる。今後は気をつけるようにするけど、今回はたまには私も何かを証明したかった。
So, is this one of your abilities?
まだ意識していないの？あなたの記憶によればスーが説明したはずだと思うけど、私はね、まだ融合戦士になっていない頃から気づいてた。他人を説得することは私にとっては難しくない行為だと。
I think I see why you're ranked third. This is a dangerous trait.
それが物事の皮肉と矛盾。私は運命を見る能力を手に入れ、期待する権利を失った。しかしそれと同時に私は別の意味で他人の心を癒すことができ、変えたいという思いを叶えられる。戒律。 絶望の命の方が私にふさわしいのかもしれない。
Is that so? Return to dust. I don't get it. The moths entrusted it with you. They must have their reasons. No matter what happens, Hua, you are the only one who has the 8th divine key. Take it. Vilvi has to finish everything sooner or later. Until then, it won't lose any power, unless, I guess, it's completely used up, thanks to my reprimand. Reprimand? But it's not... It's just wishful thinking. You'll understand everything when the time comes. Aponia, forgive me for speaking out, but why? Today's the first time we've ever really talked like this. Really? What if I told you that I knew about this encounter ages ago? I've been waiting for this. Waiting this whole time. You want to change my destiny, just like everyone else. Yes, my fate. Surprisingly, her tone shifted and became harsh, as though she had remembered something. I know that you hate this way of talking about it, so I'll give you a chance to change. This was never in Vilvi's plan, but I still reawakened this Hersher's true power, and changed it from a tool to a weapon in your hands. There's a name that I hate. First-rate power. Huh? It's just, using it comes at such a high cost. I'll give you a small demonstration before you go. Don't worry about me. I never wanted to remember everything we discussed today. Please forgive my selfishness here, but I don't care to remember trying to save people again. How useless. I heard about what happened at Sundown Alley. You're one of the 2 flame chasers taken from there.
ええ、私はそこで生まれ育った。火を追う側が私を罪人だと認めるまで、そこから出たことは一度。メイはその理由を知っているのでしょ？
Because you gathered and sheltered the carriers, they thought you had an ulterior motive?
確かにそういう口実だった。私を閉じ込める理由は他にないはずでしょ？
An excuse. Was that really an accident?
メイ、私は生まれた時から未来が見えるわけではないよ。他人の罠にはまり、どうすることもできない。かわいそうな人たち。彼らは体も心も疲れていて苦しんでいた。私はただできるだけ彼らに安らぎを与えたかったの。
But if the moths claim that you were the instigator of the Honkai disease incident to detain you, what made them do it?
私にはわからない。彼らは様々な形で私に長い間尋問を行った。そういう事実から私が何らかの秘密を知っていると彼らは考えたようだった。もちろん私は何も知らなかった。
Are you telling the truth?
そういったタイミングでその療養所に現れた普通の女性という存在自体こそが極めて危険で怪しい存在だったのかもしれない。それに別の角度から考えれば彼らは間違っていなかった。本心はどうであれ、その事故の導火線は確かに私だった。そして私から有益な情報を得られないと確信した彼らは融合戦士を生み出すための手術台の上に私を乗せた。
To erase the insider?
もしくは生きて役に立てるようになってほしかったのかもしれない。とにかくその後火を追う側、二度と私を拘束できなくなった。私が残ることを選んだのはあまりにも複雑な理由があったから。エリシアの提案をちゃんと考える時間が必要だったの。
The ordained. The masked man was dropping corpse after corpse right at her feet. 53, 54. That was it. They were all present when Rin died. They all have the same discipline. Tell me, what actually happened? What if you get no answer? He pointed to the ground. You'll be next. You should know, I've never feared death. And anyway, who says you could? But if you insist on me paying a price for this, I won't refuse. The discipline I gave them was simple. Never give up hope against Honkai. I don't know why this would make them hate Hershers. They're unhinged. He laughed coldly. It's just like everything you do. Kalpus, just because I know about everything doesn't mean I can control it. I make mistakes, too. Same for the discipline I gave you. Never harm innocents. You've never let that get in the way of your indiscriminate murder. Fool. Just look at yourself. Look at this world. Nobody can say they are innocent, Aponia. But at least you got one thing right. Even if it was unintentional, you'll pay the price for Sakura's death. I'm gonna kill you, right here, right now. But I'll make it fair. I'll accept the discipline again for never harming innocents. And then you can answer me with your life. God damn. But that's interesting. So it's not like absolutes. There's a matter of like perception to how certain terms are defined and how the discipline is like, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Understood, I guess?
メイ、あのペンダントは気に入らなかった？つけているところを見たことがない。
Of course. I don't want to get sucked into that dark space again. The deep end. You locked yourself up there for a long time after joining the moths. Was it necessary? Or, unlike the other flame chasers, you don't care about the state of affairs?
私の能力は仲間を怯えさせることができるけど、魂のない崩壊獣には大した効果がなかった。私は戦闘よりも些細なことの方が得意だと思う。私たちにはケビンのようなリーダーが必要だけど、同時に弱者の手を握り、希望がないと知りながらも全てが良くなると伝える人も必要。
The weak. I'm pretty sure the people imprisoned there were mostly felons.
極悪非道な人たちばかりではないよ。昔日のヒーローの数はあなたが想像したよりもずっと多かったかもしれない。
Were heroes once?
メイ、あなたと私は比較的幸運な人間。多くのヒーローはたった一回の争いであらゆるものを失ってしまった。体が不自由になった者もいれば、怪物となり二度と日の光を浴びることができなくなった者もいた。さらに失ったものに納得できず、 人類と対立する側に立った者もいた。事実上、あそこは罪だらけというより絶望に満ちていた。本物の罪人に関してはこの心は救えないと、私もかなり後になってようやく気づいた。それは私があそこに残る理由でもあった。罪人に救いの手を差し伸べられないけど、少なくとも人々の代わりにその悪意を受け止められる。ああ、急に重い話になってしまったね。お詫びにメイにはもう一度お近づきの印を渡しましょう。これは私が作った彫刻。大したことはない。昔もよくこうしていろいろ作って贈り物をしていた。
Came in varieties? This was your hobby?
メイが思っているよりも得意かもしれないよ。少なくとも英傑たちはみんな私が作ったアクセサリーを持っている。
Huh.
具体的に何なのかは当ててみるといい。メイ、わかってる。あなたの中で私はずっと暗い隅に隠れて様々な陰謀を企むような人間に見えるのでしょ。でも私だって退屈を感じる時がある。だから知らないうちにこうして工芸を覚えた。あまり。
I've complained about this before, but oh my god, Aponia talks so slowly. Within the cataract. Griseo, right? That's a nice name. What are you doing staying around here? It must be terrifying being abandoned in a place like this, right? Don't be afraid. Come here. Ah, what a shy kid. You must be hungry. Want a snack? That's it. Good kid. Take your time, nice and easy. Here, give me your hand. The soft, gentle voice of a woman floated through the air, calming everyone down as if by some kind of magic. There would be no need for a candle with her around, as she illuminates the space between herself and the little girl. Beyond that, there is only darkness and the abyss. Countless shadowy figures danced around the edges of the inky darkness, exuding a terrifying aura of despair, or perhaps the original archetypes of despair itself. But just then, they looked on at these encircled two with trepidation, as though they weren't merely the single glimmer of light in this deepest darkness, but rather something more terrifying than darkness, death, and fear itself. She gently wiped the cream off the little girl's face and hands. It's definitely crowded here. Let's go to someplace quieter. She stepped out as she spoke, and the crowd retreated in silence like the tide. Just then, an even smaller hand held on to her. The girl looked up and gazed upon her with pure innocence, her tender lips quivering as she uttered the first words since her exile. Mama. Oh.
困った顔をしているね、メイ。私は受け止めるために存在する。私の前では遠慮する必要はない。
I'm just wondering, why did everyone believe in your ability without knowing what it really was?
メイだってそうでしょ。どんな人でも永遠に続く嘘なんてつけない。この能力の本質のことは私自身も説明できないし、他人に理解を求めていない。
But what's your vision really like? It can't be specific imagery, right?
スーはいい回答をくれたはずだよ。彼の言った意図は表現ではなくそのものだ。彼が話したように私にとって生きている者たちは運命の糸に操られている。絡まった糸、長さが定まらない細い文様、揺れ動くろうそくの光、さまざまな比喩で私の所見を描写できるけど、それ以上は説明できない。見えるようになったばかりの頃は私もその意味を理解できなかった。糸の色、伸びる軌跡、それらの法則も感じ得る中で徐々に分かるようになっていった。その後に起こることと結びつければ大して難しくはない。ただ少し時間が必要だった。
Rest assured that I will sever it myself.
構わない。思い切りチャレンジしてみるといい。真相を信じるには過程というものが必要だから。私自身も例外ではない。
You've doubted your power?
誰もが信じたいはずだ。未来は決まってなどいないと。メイ、できれば多くの時間の中で私を衣類扱いしないでくれる？私にとって人の心は勝手にもてあそべるものだとそう思っているのでしょ？だけど私だってセールの時はきちんと列に並ぶ。
That's a way of saying I'm just like everybody else that I've never heard before, but I kind of like it.
とはいえ、当時の私が最も困惑していたのは真相を知らないことに対してではない。知っている？メイ、人の終点は私が糸の法則の中で最も見分けやすく最も早く予知できるようになったものだ。私はそういう前提のもと己の視野が何を意味しているかを徐々に理解していったの。物語にあったように私はずっと彼らの暮らしを探し求めようとした。結果的に先に彼らの死と向き合わないといけなかった。
Survey report. Discipline. A crumpled up old research report filled with notes scribbled in various handwriting. Sample 1. Blank. Blank years old. Member of Cocoon. Symptoms. Severe bruising of varying degrees all over body. Impact of discipline. Vast improvement to cell activity. Complete recovery of all wounds within 3 months. Sample 2. Blank. Blank years old. Logistics staff. Symptoms. Broken leg. Impact of discipline. Fast healing at break site over 1 week. Note: sample refused all surgery prior to discipline. Improved healing may be connected to this. Note: in a cuter handwriting, how cryptic. How badly was he treated at Mobius? In a more serious handwriting, unfortunately, he broke his other leg a day after recovering. Sample 3. Former deep end convict. Symptoms: severe claustrophobia and nyctophobia. Impact of discipline: gained night vision abilities. Can perform tasks in pitch darkness using hearing and touch. Sample 4. Summary: discipline can stimulate biological potential in subjects. This summary has been crossed out, and someone writing with a more dignified hand has made a note below. The real power of discipline lies in impacts and catalysts that yield to the subconscious desires of the subject. Based on the Honkai Midoro's lack of similar results, the unforeseen exception found in Aponia requires further study. Until then, Aponia's account of her own talents is unreliable. Therefore, I'll go to the deep end for discipline myself to verify my hypothesis. This report was clutched in the hands of a young man, trembling with excitement. Why am I the only one not to get this report? Silence, kid. Dr. May's always been like that. She knows what she wants and how to get it. She's already gone off to the deep end. All we can do now is wait. Wait and believe. You said you tried to uphold the morals of the masses through disciplining for some time. Why did you stop?
やめていないよ。ただ、もう最後の希望を抱いたりしない。メイ、本当の自由を手に入れた人を見たことがある？現実の制限が一切なく、欲しいものを何でも手に入れられる。そういう絶対的な自由を。
I don't think so. It's too unrealistic.
私は見たことがある。彼女は意のままに他人に影響を与え、行く道へと導いたけど、その結果は全部破滅に終わった。そのせいで彼女は悪人となり、知る人全員に恐怖を与えた。そういう例外がなくても、最小限の自由を手に入れた人々が最初に考えるのは、その自由を悪に使うことだ。
You're an advocate of human nature being evil.
人は行動すれば過ちを犯す。例外はないよ。もちろん全部を否定しているわけではない。最初自由は邪念となるけど、悪が続いてもあるタイミングで急に善に傾く。その理由は私にも説明できないけど、それが今まで見て聞いてきたことだから。私の戒律はその人たちを守るためにある。本当に善の終点にたどり着けた人はめったにいない。多くの人は悪事を働きながら破滅していった。なら彼らのために最初から不自由の境地にいた方がより安全だと思わない？
But at the same time, you've deprived them of their future possibilities.
開拓者たちは心のままに開拓すればいい。私が気にかけるべきなのは、弱者を安らかに眠らせることだから。最初から終点につくことのない人々の魂が暗闇の中でもがく姿を見るより、彼らが起点で一生を過ごすことを願っている。
But your thinking changed.
ええ。道徳の限界は千変万化。完璧な基準は最初から存在しない。どれだけ前提を作っても、どれだけ周到に考慮しても、善意による束縛は悪い結果になる。そういうたくさんの過ちを私は犯してきた。ひいてはあなたの知っている悲劇を引き起こした。その後、私はようやく理解した。人間の本性は変えられない。私が意図を見えるようにね。 束縛を加えてもかえって堅くなにさせてしまう。
Was the absolutely free person you mentioned a flame chaser?
その人は
Yeah, kind of figured.
悔しいけど私だよ。
Kind of figured. The first discipline. She still remembered that moment, back when she wasn't aware of her gift. As though a sudden revelation, an invisible hand pushed her forward, bringing her to feel the mark left by fate for all living things. Veins made of light, like silken thread. They leave completely different marks on different people's heads. Sometimes they intersect or weave together, dispersing and stretching out onto various ends. Sometimes they abruptly stop at some point imperceptible. Under this indescribable sense of restraint, she reached out her hand to touch these surrounding threads. Is this what you saw when you first used your discipline? Oh, how I would love to see the world through your eyes. It must be an unforgettable, magnificent scene. I've never been shy about sharing anything with you, Elysia, but it's not a pretty sight. I can't use my discipline on you, just like I can't make your dreams come true. After that, I bestowed discipline to many others, but nobody ever gained the ability to see the threads. Because you are truly special. I may not be able to see what you do, but I understand the feeling of being different from others. You don't have to feel alone. But what do these threads mean? I don't know. These threads hanging off everyone, I can see them, but I can't touch them, and I can't change their trajectory, not even an inch. Then, have you tried investigating where these threads ultimately lead to? They break off. Break off? All threads break off at the edges of my vision. Maybe that's the limit of my ability? I see. The girl tilted her head and winked at her jokingly. Then, do I have a thread coming out of my head? What does it look like, and where does it lead? But before she could answer, a slender index finger was gently placed to her lips. Forget about it. Don't you enjoy the suspense? I'll tell you next time we meet. Perhaps then I can tell you what these threads really are. Okay, that is as far as that goes for now.
待て。
え？
それをどこで手に入れた？
何のことを言ってるの？
Following his gaze, May noticed the weapon she acquired in her exploration. It was a standard-issue dagger that exuded grimness in a space fabricated by consciousness.
あなたとこれに何らかの関係があるの？
I mean, yeah, look at the color palette, May. Everything that can be seen in this space is inextricably linked to the Flame Chasers, but these two have nothing in common.
まずは俺の質問に答えろ、律者。
他のものと同じように楽園で偶然見つけたのよ。英傑と関係があると思ったから拾っておいたの。いくらなんでも現実世界から持ってくるはずないでしょ。
その方が面白かったがな。持っておけ。お前にふさわしいからな。今度お前が俺に喧嘩を売りたくなった時に、哀れで役に立たない運を与えてくれるはずだ。
つまり、これは本当にあなたのもの？あなたの武器だったってこと？
俺の武器は残すことができなかった。俺に比べると武器はどれも脆弱だったからな。わかるか？それは俺の副官が残したものだ。あいつはその探検で何度も俺を暗殺しようとした。
暗殺？
She looked at that dagger again doubtfully.
どうした？ そんな小さなものでは俺を傷つけることはできない。だがあいつが使った方法はそれだけではなかった。エイマーが俺を殺そうとした方法はかなり面白かったぞ。
彼が、つまりそれが彼を副官に任命した本当の理由なの？
俺がわざわざ口実を作るようなやつに見えるか？それに他の理由があったとしてもお前に教えると思ってるわけじゃないだろうな。
Ah, I see. Parting gift. Pretty tasteless for a final gift. Really, because it's more important that I asked Eden for this mask. Heh, it's no wonder. I don't get this lady's aesthetic. The only practical thing is the top that was designed for Kevin. His boob window top? What sort of arc is this? You really want to go still? That's where my responsibility lies. Well, go on then. Kalpus, before leaving, I have a question. How did you overcome the pain? Is that something that still needs overcoming? When I first joined Mantis, even though I eventually learned to heal myself from trauma, the pain remained unavoidable. It took about a year for me to grow used to it. I want to know how you dealt with it. I learned to love it. The man laughed out loud. If there is no pain, how can I know for sure I'm still alive? But since you asked, it means that one of us will soon feel pain, right? The answer was clear. Standing a few steps away behind the man was no longer the boy who came to say goodbye, but the shadow of the person that could no longer be identified. And the gaze with which he looked at the man was full of hunger. That devilish instinct once again invaded his sanity. It's still the same as last time. Apart from the Honkai beast factor, those like me can also eat it, right? Alright. This time, I will only use half of my strength. If you really have the ability to devour me, then take me as a parting gift. Oh shit.
メイの姉ちゃんは普段は楽園の外で何をしてるの？
Me? Doing missions, gathering intel, that sort of thing.
それじゃあ楽園の中と同じじゃない？仕事以外のことを聞きたいの。仕事以外にしたいことって何かある？
She doesn't have those. Why are you asking this?
ただ、もしいつか世界が平和になったら、私は何をするのかなって考えただけ。
I guess you would just laze around and sleep all day.
私もそう思う。でも、たまに考えちゃうんだ。もしあの場所で生まれなかったら、あの時代に戦争や災害がなかったら、私はもっと理想を持てたのかなって。
And?
結論は、
Oops.
だって違う人生にどんな結末があるかなんて誰にもわからないもん。今の人生にも結構満足してるからね。強いて言えば、起きたら食べて、食べたら日向ぼっこする毎日が私の理想かな。おー、もちろんカンちゃんも一緒だからね。メイの姉ちゃんも一緒にどう？
I'll think it over.
夜になったらこっそりみんなの部屋に入って。
I'll pass on that. You don't have to worry about food or clothing. Do you really need to stock up?
ああ、そうだった。癖でつい考えちゃったよ。
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Oh shit. I literally barely have enough for these. flame chasers. Here, Sakura. This is the snack I promised to find for you. You don't know how hard it was to find. No one can make Sakura mochi anymore. All that the 12th Herrscher left behind was radiated land, destroyed towns, and tombstones just like this. Pardafelis stands in front of a tombstone, puts her condolences on it, and reaches out gently to touch the cold stone. She feels this was nothing at all like the Sakura of her memory. Sakura, you may have looked cold and indifferent on the outside, but you had a warm and kind heart on the inside. I'm sorry, Sakura. If I were in the base at that time, maybe I could have helped you get Rin out. Maybe... All kinds of possibilities linger in her mind. The endless what-ifs make her speechless. Do you remember, Sakura? I'm the only flame chaser with 2 extra ears. I wanted to form an animal ear alliance with you, but I wasn't expecting you to be allergic to cats when I first met you, so you were sneezing non-stop. Also, this is blatantly untrue. Sakura definitely has the ears. Has both human and, fox ears. But even so, you kept saying... Speaking of this, Pardafelis found that she unconsciously hid her tail just now. She had this habit every time she was around Sakura. But even so, you kept saying how you wanted to introduce me to your sister, because she loves small animals and cats. Sakura, my heart is still broken. She looks at the tombstone in silence. A crystal flower grows up from the ground and blooms alone. I know I'm weak, but I'm good at opening locks and running away. Had I known where she was, I could have unlocked the prison door and climbed in through the ventilation system to take her away. You wouldn't have left me. Pardafelis looks at the tombstone, but Sakura is, obviously, unable to respond. When Elysia came to me and asked me to join the Flame Chasers, I wondered if she mistook me for someone else. But now I know that this kind of broken heart... This really feels worse than death.
メイの姉ちゃん、これをあげる。この鍵があれば、一つの宝箱を開けられるよ。
This seems highly suspicious, but tell me your price.
お金なんて取らないよ。私からのプレゼントだから。
I wonder, when the Elysian realm was first introduced, did you have to actually unlock these items like this? Like, did getting them in the story actually unlock them? Because by the time I have gotten to it, obviously I can just get them. For me? Isn't this a key to your treasure?
そうだけど、私じゃもうそれを開けるための条件を満たすことはできないから。
You mean it's buried in reality? Pardo, you do realize that ancient and modern maps are totally different, right?
知ってるよ。でもこれは期待というか、ロマンがある夢という感じかな。いつか本当に発見されたら、これはパルドフェリスの遺産になるもん。初めて仕入れをした時に拾ったハンドル、初めて入手したコイン、それからエデンの姉ちゃんの写真が印刷された缶ジュース。あ、これは本当にお金になるよ。
That's your treasure?
すごく貴重ってわけじゃないけどね。でも、もしいつかあの箱が発見されたら、誰かにそれをもらってほしいと思ってる。というより、あの時代でも楽しい日々を過ごして幸せな夢を見てる人がいたって知ってほしいと思う。安心して、メイの姉ちゃん。私は幸運の持ち主だもん。きっと見つかるよ。
This key generated by memories shouldn't be able to leave the Elysian realm. 5. The final treasure. Crunch, crunch. Under the light of the full moon, part of Ellis is digging something up with a shovel. This is Sundown Alley, the place of her birth. Or at least where she lived for as long as she could remember. Or rather, it would be more accurate to say that this used to be Sundown Alley. She rarely had the chance to come back since joining Mantis. Not just because there were many people here out to kill her, but also because there was nothing left for her except for memories of desolation and wandering. Crunch, crunch. No one notices here, but now there aren't many people left in today's world. The deeper she digs, the higher the dirt piles up around her. It feels like she's digging her own grave. No! She shakes her head and her ears shudder, trying to throw that ominous idea out of her head. Soon she will go there with the others. The round, bright, and silent moon hangs in the sky above. This might be her last chance to bury these treasures. Favorite cans, unique and crooked bottle caps, my bounty posters, and these worn-out team uniforms. Oh no, cans can't... They'll expire over time. Even though the box beside her is locked, she knows every treasure in it like the back of her hand. It contains the treasures she found... It contains the treasures she found from childhood to adulthood and all of what she considered as her valuables. Well, okay, it's almost deep enough. She wipes the sweat off her forehead and reluctantly touches the box of treasures beside her. She plans on burying it here for safekeeping until she comes back to dig it up at a later date. But why should I do this? An ominous question pops into her mind. Just in case. Just in case. Right, my treasures can be saved for the next era. But when will they see the light of day? She stops thinking about this and carefully puts the box at the bottom of the hole with her muddy hands. Holding the shovel in her hands, she gazes at her treasures for some time as if reliving her past. She scoops up a handful of soil and pours it on the box. Suddenly, she feels a chill run through her body. It seems like she isn't pouring dirt on her box of treasures, but on a coffin. Dang it, what's going on? Why am I thinking about all these things today? Half angry and half trembling, she quickly buries the box and flattens the dirt on it. Alright, that should do it. She drops her shovel and walks away. She decided that she will go there with others anyway, as a member of the 13 Flame Chasers. Despite the opposition of every hair on her body and the trembling of her muddy hands, she smiles for no reason. It'll be alright. We've always had Lady Luck on our side. This is Sundown Alley, the place where she was born. Even though moonlight shines upon the ruins, she can't see where she had buried her treasure. It was like the shovel and the big hole had never been there. As if the people who once stood here had never existed. Alright, let's talk to Elysia real quick.
Ah! あなたのそういう反応は初めて見たわ。だって想像もしてなかったんだもの。メイが自分であそこから出てくるなんて。1000号からメイを助けるタイミングを今か今かと待ってたのよ。全部知ってたの？メイがあんな表情で出発したんだもの。何があったか知りたくなるわ。メイ、私はあなたの想像以上にメイのことを思ってるのよ。それはどうも。けど本来の計画では。待って、エリシア、私が1000号に殺されない確証でもあったの？当然よ。そんなの何度もしたことがあるんだもの。 でも厄介だから、そのやり方は今後はしちゃダメよ。千号はほとんどの場合はとてもおとなしいけど、挑発に対してはまっすぐだから融通が利かないわよ。ええ、分かったわ。過程がどうあれ結果は変わらない。アポニア、あなたは私にそれを証明したの。
Seems that way. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here for now because it's getting late-ish, and because I have to do this, and because I only have 5 of these things, I want to take the time to, you know, do that manually. So, I will see you all next time.